Man, awesome team win. I'm just appreciative of the effort of the men in that locker room. It's classic Steelers-Ravens. Unfortunately, maybe a lot of guys go down in the game, but that's kind of been a component of it too. Darnell Washington had a concussion. Malik Harrison had a concussion. Pete had a concussion. Benton had an ankle. He was able to go back. A couple other evals, I think they were able to go back. But it's really kind of indicative of how this game is played, man. Appreciate the efforts. Big win for us, obviously, in a hostile environment, and we'll keep moving. Questions?
Thank you, Zach. Down the field right off the bat, you did it in the second half, too. Was it important with some of the second half balls that you got into?
I just think we were in aggressive posture all day. I just think that's how we got out of bed this morning. That's what's required when you're playing these guys in their venue.
What did you see that made you feel comfortable you could attack them that way?
I just think that's the way we needed to play. We needed to be aggressive. We've just been in here a lot. We're familiar with them in this environment, and that's what's required.
Like what you said about the defense, I know it wasn't obviously what you wanted overall, but you did hold tons of great field goals.
Man, I'm just appreciative, man. We start having linebackers go down. That period of time when Patrick Crean was unavailable to us was uncomfortable. But that's just the component of it. That's why it's the ultimate team game. I'm just appreciative of the collective efforts.
Coach, that likely non-touchdown in the fourth quarter, Joey Porter never gave up on that play. What do you have to say about that?
Just appreciative of the effort. That's just kind of indicative of how the game needs to be played, and, it'll be a good example of that.
Why don't you just get that Alex Highsmith and how he stepped up in some of the big plays he made today?
Man, I thought as the game got thick, you really felt his presence. We're actually coming out of that very last time out, and he turned around, was walking back toward the bench with me. I was like, Alex, what are you doing, man? Get back in there. And I'm thankful that I did because, obviously, man, he made the play today.
Did you think that Likely's catch was a touchdown when they called it?
I did not. But I know sometimes, in the effort to get it right, they'll signal it a touchdown and give it the benefit of the review. But, no, I didn't think it was a touchdown.
Mike, big day for DK, but he also was a gunner and actually drew a holding penalty on that play. What can you say about his efforts and just showing that versatility as well?
He just brought that approach all week. I think oftentimes game day is indicative of what transpires during the week. I just thought that he had a can-do attitude, man. He was wired all week. He texted me after hours, etc. But I just appreciate his mindset and what he brought into the building today.
Mike, I don't know if you ever get a sense of this, but did you just feel a sense that Aaron was in control the whole game?
I did. But again, we knew what was on the line today. And that's why you go do business with a guy like Aaron for thick days like today. He's a been there, done that guy. But beyond the experience component of it, he relishes it. You can just tell. And that's the benefit of having a guy like AR.
You said you knew you were going to need to be more aggressive with the deep passing coming in. Did you take that mindset in at the beginning of the week? Is that something you spent more extra time on?
Yes.
How did that play out through the week of practice? Did you feel, did you see the response from guys like what you saw?
Practice is just that. It prepares you for play. And so we were reserving judgment until we got in stadium.
Coach, only 34 yards rushing today, but you were able to stretch the field a number of times. Do you feel that since you were able to stretch the field today, that maybe moving forward that will help your run game?
They smashed us today. I got to give them credit. We weren't able to get it going the way that we desired. And then certainly as attrition set in, we weren't able to maintain their run. And that's what made the game as tight as it was.
Anyone else?
You did a sack Roman Wilson today because of the veteran receivers. What went into that decision?
Exactly what you said, because of the veteran receivers.
What did you see on the field in MBS in their first opportunity?
I appreciate their efforts, man. I think their experience showed, but certainly maybe with another week, man, it's reasonable to expect it to be better.
Our Ravens defense was, they've been playing a lot better than the last one at the beginning of the season. What would allow you guys to maybe pass the ball down the field so well today?
I'm not going to speak for those guys. I was just talking about our mindset and what we desire to get done, and largely, particularly in the passing game, I think we were able to do so.
Well, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's all about practice. You know, when you go out there and execute in practice like we did this week, it gives you the confidence to be able to make some of those plays. And I thought it was our most crisp week of preparation on the field. I think off the field we've been really good, but I thought the energy was good. Not a big believer in coincidences, so I got to think that just Marquez and Adam out there, you know, made a difference from a professionalism standpoint. Not saying those other guys don't have professionalism. I love Gal and Roman and all of our other guys, but I just think there was an extra level of focus this week. And, you know, then Art wanted to be aggressive on the first play. You know, as you guys were talking about, we hadn't completed a pass, you know, over 20 yards in a while. And it took a shot. DK got it, and then he was kind of on one. But he was on one in practice on Thursday. And then he was on one on practice on Friday. So love that from our guy. I think he even ran down on a punt. So proud of DK, proud of our defense standing up there at the end, and thought the offensive line dominated line of scrimmage. From a pass game standpoint, we didn't run it very well. But when we had to have some conversions on third down, we made some plays.
Aaron, what does it do for confidence when you hit that first big one?
We did it against Cincinnati as well on the first third down. That wasn't the first play of the game, but I just like Art's kind of focus. He wanted to be aggressive throwing the ball. You know, and I knew it was going to be a lot of different guys. But once DK got going, I just kind of had to keep feeding him, and he had a couple huge plays. Then the Lions, you know, in the second half, we've kind of sucked the first possession of the second half coming out, and, you know, to start off with a extended pass play, and then DK to keep working and keep working and keep working, and that big play, get us down there, get a field goal, and go down and score a touchdown. That was two good drives for us to start the half.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about the second half because you had some lulls after halftime. If you came out and were aggressive and hit those big passes, how important that was? You know, for your confidence to get that.
Yeah, it's important. You know, we've talked about how many 3-and-outs that we've had starting the second half, and when you're trying to, you know, defer that first possession of the second half is very important, especially if they went down and got 6 there at the end of the first half, you know, to be able to put it back to 2 scores. Now they went right back down and scored, but then the most important drive of the game was that response that we had to get it back to 27-16, which was a lot of different guys. I believe it was that drive where we had a 2nd and 20, I think. Hit DK and then had a conversion. Then they tried to pressure us and dropped 2 guys, really. Pat was wide open. I didn't see him. I just saw Jalen in the flat. And because Pat was so wide open, he was the convoy there to get in the end zone. So proud of our guys.
Are you still feeling these? Are you still feeling these? I don't know if we're nimble here, but you moved around pretty well in this game. There have been other times this season. Do you still feel like that's something that you lead off when you can pull it off?
Yeah, I mean, some games you feel better than others. I was just telling the linemen, you'll understand this when you're 40. You know, some days you feel better than others. Wake up and there's no specific reason why, you know. Thinking like, what did I do last night? Did I sleep wrong or whatever? But some days you feel great. Other days you feel maybe just good. Today I felt great. Maybe because it got such a beautiful grass field. But I felt good moving around there. And then to be able to run in a touchdown, it's been a long time there. That was in no way the play at all. It was the play to Jonnu, and the whole left side just caved in. I started running and realized I had 2 larger humans chasing me that I maybe was equal to or slightly faster than. So that was nice to get in the end zone.
You talk about the reception.
You talked about during the week.
You're next.
Not being sure if you'd be able to go under center today. When you did, how did it feel going under center, and how did that kind of open up more of the offense that was maybe missing last week?
Yeah, I don't know how much it opened up the offense, but it was important. Only, Brooke, because I don't feel like our action passing game was exceptional today. Our keepers were okay. But just the threat of being under center, I think, was nice to not have to, you know, catch a shotgun snap all day and be able to kind of hear a little better at the line of scrimmage some of the calls that were going on. That was a kind of a slightly rogue decision that I made starting Saturday. But Gabe is a great dance partner when it comes to all things medical, because him and I have a real good back and forth about what we should be doing. And today I just went with a soft cast on there as the bones are healing up, and hopefully I can get out of that at some point.
What did you see on the reception? Tell us about that play with your catch strip.
I was trying to bat it down. I was trying to get my hand on top of it and push it down, and when I did, I felt whoever's big paw was there. So I kind of had a David Tyree for a second, and then it was kind of a battle for the football. I didn't realize at the time my knees were down. I was just struggling with it, but he was grabbing on my left wrist, which, and then there was some extracurricular at the bottom of the pile, and I was just pissed jogging off the field, so I'm glad that call went our way.
Aaron, no sacks today. How do you feel that your offensive line did today in pass protection?
I thought the pass protection was excellent. AP went down, and I thought Cookie stepped in and played really well. Obviously we gave him a little help on the first couple of them, but proud of him for stepping in. But the line, really gave me a lot of time today. There were some extensions. I kind of got out of a couple potential sacks, but for the most part, a super clean day. And to still be recovering from my injury and to not really get hit a whole lot. I don't know if I was on the ground one time without being clumsy and falling down. So that's a good day, good feeling tonight. Appreciate those guys, and I really felt the rivalry today and how much it means to both teams and the fans.
What does it mean to get a win like this after the week that you guys have had and the week that kind of Mike Tomlin has had too?
Means maybe you guys will shut the hell up for a week.
Was your cast different, did you say?
Yeah.
Would make a difference, you thought?
Well, not on the reception, no. I mean, Kabola, you can probably tell me this, but I don't feel like I've had a reception for positive yards in my career. I believe that's 3 catches, maybe. 3 catches? Yeah. I wasn't trying to catch the one, I promise. I wasn't trying to catch that one.
Oh, now, right now.
But I'm glad it wasn't a pick.
As you were
Two more here. 2 more. We got PQ coming in. 2 more.
As you were watching the replay of their play in the end zone, did you think that was going your way, or were you thinking that we got to go out and put together a drive now?
I was thinking we got to put a drive together, and so is Mason. He keeps talking my ear off about different things that we like and he likes and I like, and so he's sitting next to me. Will's on the other side, and Will and I are kind of like tuned into what's going on in the incompletion, and they move the ball back and they're lined up for the next play. And Mason can't believe it because he's been just talking my head off about these random plays, and I'm like multitasking, finding this out, and so we had a good laugh at Mason's expense for that one.
And the defense, last one. Defense dealt with a number of injuries. We're on the field for I think 21 of the last 24 plays. Just speak of what they gave you today.
Yeah, great effort. I think a lot of guys stepped up with the injuries that we had. Looked like there were 3 or 4 guys that went out. So I'm proud of all those guys. And just the guys that are out there playing. With JP coming up with another huge pick, turnover for us, and Chuck playing a lot of meaningful snaps after not playing a ton of defensive snaps over the last few weeks. Peppers was out there for us. Cole Holcomb was out there for a number of snaps. So proud of those guys. It was an incredible effort down the stretch to hold them on the red zone, and then obviously in the 2-minute come up big with timely highlight play by Alex.